There are patterns of bad behavior in crisis situations or behaviors that will get you into trouble for sure. I generally run this list for clients very early in our relationship because I want them to be thinking about these things and avoiding them. For example, one of the first things I tell them is that silence is the most toxic strategy an individual leader or an organization can choose. And the reason for this is that we see this every time in crisis situations. They don't talk initially. And then they don't talk for a little while. And then when they decide to talk, the first question is, why did you wait so long to talk? Here's the problem. There is no logical, reasonable, sensible answer to this. You can say, well, the government told me not to speak, there was danger involved, make all kinds of excuses. But the problem is there are victims being created until you speak. And you can't explain it. And if you think about the crises that are going on today, yesterday, a long time ago, what they resolved themselves into was the indictment by the public of an organization, not for doing something terrifyingly bad, but for not talking about it, and often, making mistakes or telling lies when they do finally talk. Second thing I talk about is that, bad news always ripens badly. It never gets better right away. In fact, we'll talk in another one of my little commentaries is about what I call seeking forgiveness. And what that talks about essentially is the fact that, even when you do the right things quickly, it takes a little while for the bad news to stop having impact. But the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Bad news always ripens badly. I tell people it's going to be worse tomorrow than it is today. And if you do everything I tell you and start them all today, it will get better, but probably not until the day after tomorrow, okay? Bad news always gets worse. Another one is that speed beats smart every time. I mentioned to clients, I always work with smart people. Stupid people don't create serious problems. It's smart people who do. And the issue with this whole circumstance is that smart people like to treat these problems by coming up with a response or an activity that will resolve the issue as quickly as possible. This is not possible. Never happens. So what happens is, while the bosses and the smart people are searching for the perfect response, your reputation gets destroyed. So even if you have the perfect response, it's too late, it doesn't really matter. Speed beats smart every time. There is a complaint about this, I get this often. Jim, if you move too quickly, you'll make mistakes. Well, it's a crisis. And a crisis is a continuing series of mistakes that slow down as you do things better. So speed beats smart every single time. Ultimately, when you see how these situations are resolved, it's when they start making decisions and getting things done quickly.